Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission. It is Thursday, September 14th at 2 p.m. and we are convened for our regularly scheduled commission business meeting. Let's take a roll call of commissioners. Attending virtually, we have Commissioner Irvin. With us in the hearing room, we have Commissioner Jay Williams, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner Carol Lee Williams, Commissioner Caston, and Chair Belser. Before we get to the agendas, I invite you to join me for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Scarborough.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, Vice Chair Powers and Commissioners. First order of business is to set the next regularly scheduled business meeting. Staff recommends that the next commission business meeting be scheduled for Wednesday, September 20th, 2023 at 2 p.m.
We will reschedule next week's business meeting to Wednesday, September 20th at 2 p.m. Thank you, Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you. Today we have 17 items on the utilities agenda and 20 items on our transportation agenda. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2007-379C. This is a request for approval of the First Amendment to the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications, LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and PNG Telecommunications Incorporated, doing business as PowerNet Global Communications.
Commissioners, with regard to utilities agenda item 1, is there a motion?
Chair Belser, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Thank you. I move that the Commission grant approval of the First Amendment to interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications, LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and PNG Telecommunications, Inc., doing business as PowerNet Global Communications.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
And Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 2 is in docket number 2010-64C. This is a request for approval of amendment number 2 to the traffic exchange agreement by and between Chesney Telephone Company and Verizon Wireless.
Commissioners, we've heard agenda item 2 identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
I move that the Commission grant the request for approval of Amendment Number 2 to the Traffic Exchange Agreement by and between Chesney Telephone Company and Verizon Wireless.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
I vote aye as well.
I apologize. Thank you, Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Item number 3 appears in docket number 2023-297C. Staff presents for Commission consideration the appointment of a hearing examiner in this docket.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 3 is identified. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the Commission appoint Ms. Sandra Moser as a hearing examiner in docket number 2023-297-C.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams.
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Items numbered 4 through 7 can be taken together because they involve the removal of Justin Somolovsky, Esquire, as counsel of record for Sierra Club in the following 4 dockets. Docket number 2021-192E, docket number 2021-93E, docket number 2022-254E, and docket number 2022-23E.
Commissioners, we've heard the 4 agenda items identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Vice Chair Powers?
I move that the commission grant the request of Justin Somolowski Esquire to be removed as counsel of record for Sierra Club for the dockets enumerated by Mr. Scarborough. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair Powers. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 8 appears in docket number ND-2023-1E. This is a request from the Office of Regulatory Staff for confidential treatment of certain portions of the inspection and examination report that Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC labeled as confidential.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 8 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
I move that we grant the Office of Regulatory Staff's request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the inspection and examination report that Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC labeled as confidential unless or until the Commission rules otherwise, or until Duke Energy Progress LLC and Duke Energy Carolinas LLC agrees such information is not entitled to protection from public disclosure or is no longer confidential or proprietary. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 9 is in docket number 2023-3E. This is a request from the Office of Regulatory Staff for confidential treatment of certain portions of the direct testimonies and exhibits of Brandon Bickley and Omari R. Thompson that Duke Energy Carolinas LLC labeled as confidential during the discovery process.
Commissioners, with regard to Utilities Agenda Item 9, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin is recognized.
thank you. I move that the commission grant confidential treatment to certain portions of the direct testimonies of Brandon Bickley and Omari R. Thompson that reference information which Duke Energy Carolinas LLC asserts is entitled to confidential treatment. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 10 appears in dockets numbered 2022-239E and 2022-240E. This is a request from Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC for confidential treatment of Mara Farver's Supplemental Exhibit 1.
Commissioners, we've heard Agenda Item 10 identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Vice Chair Powers.
I move that the commission grant the request for confidential treatment of Farver Supplemental Exhibit 1. This commission finds that the commercial sensitivity and proprietary nature of certain information contained in Farver Supplemental Exhibit 1 warrants confidential treatment of this information.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 11 is in docket number 2023-289E. This involves a request from Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC for approval of lighting tariffs without notice or hearing.
Commissioners, we've heard agenda item 11, identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas?
I move that the commission first grant expedited consideration of these 4 new rate schedules of DEC and DEP without notice and hearing pursuant to SC Code annotated section 58-27-870F of 2015. In pursuant part, the commission may allow rates or tariffs to be put into effect without notice and hearing when such rates and tariffs do not require a determination of the entire rate structure or overall rate of return, or when the rates and tariffs do not result in any rate increase to the electrical utility. I move that the commission find that these new lighting offerings proposed rates do not require determination of the entire rate structure and overall rate of return and do not result in any rate increase to the electrical utility. Second, approve the new lighting tariffs and rates applicable to the 4 new lighting offerings. 1, DEC Outdoor Lighting Service Schedule, OL. 2, DEC Street and Public Lighting Service Schedule, PL. 3, DEP Area Lighting Service Schedule, ALS. And 4, DEP Lighting Service Schedule, SLS. DEC and DEP are directed to file a copy of the tariffs for these new lighting offerings in the e-tariff system with copies to the Commission, ORS, and any other interested stakeholders. So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion?
Chair Belzer?
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Thank you. I just wanted to note that in reviewing this application, I noticed that DEP is going to be offering street lighting that is more sensitive to turtles. And I think that's pretty cool that we've gotten to the point that that can be offered. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 12 is in docket number 2018-320E. This is a request from Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC for approval of a proposed procedural schedule in this docket.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 12, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston?
I move that the commission adopt the procedural schedule proposed by ORS as outlined in its August 29, 2023 letter. March 1st, 2024, company's direct testimony no earlier than 30 days after CPRE order. April 1st, 2024, ORS and other parties direct testimony. April 16th, 2023, company's rebuttal testimony. April 30th, 2024, ORS and other parties rebuttal testimony. May 7th, 2024, the hearing. So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 13 appears in docket number 2022-326E. This is a motion by Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC for a procedural schedule in this docket.
With regard to Utilities Item 13, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston?
I move that the commission adopt the procedural schedule proposed by ORS as outlined in its August 29th, 2023 letter. March 1st, 2024, company's direct testimony no earlier than 30 days after CPRE order. April 1st, 2024, ORS and other parties direct testimony. April 16th, 2023, company's rebuttal testimony. April 30th, 2024, ORS, other parties, rebuttal testimony, and May 7th, 2024, the hearing.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion?
Chair Belser,
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
I think I heard Commissioner Caston read April 16th, 2023, and I'm sure he meant 2024. And I don't know if there's a need to look to see if that could have been said in item 12 as well.
To the extent that either motion may have had 2023 instead of 2024, we will make sure that it's 2024.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Is that
Thank you,
okay?
Commissioner Williams.
We'll accept that as a friendly amendment to both. And I should have said this on the other one. Would you accept a friendly amendment that we add language to the prior motion as well as this motion that staff be given authority to adjust the schedule if needed?
Yes, Madam Chair. I would.
Commissioners, may I have the consent of the commission to amend the prior motion that we've already voted on in that regard? If you just say consent.
Consent?
Consent.
Anyone else? Anyone opposed? By unanimous consent, we'll amend the previous motion. And Commissioner Caston accepts that language as a friendly amendment to the current motion.
Yes, Madam Chair.
We will now vote on the motion as amended by two friendly motions. And starting with Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 14 appears in docket number 2023-239E, which involves the procedural schedules proposed by Duke Energy Carolinas in this docket.
With regard to utilities agenda item 14, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission adopt the procedural schedule recommended by the Office of Regulatory Staff as follows. All other parties, direct testimony date will be October 18th, 2023. DEC, DEP's rebuttal testimony date is November 1st, 2023. All other parties, rebuttal testimony date is November 15th, 2023, and the hearing date is December 12th, 2023. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion?
Chair Belser,
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
is there a need for a friendly amendment here as well that staff be given the authority to adjust the schedule as needed? Commissioner Williams, are
I
you
accept.
willing to accept?
Yes, I
And
accept.
that would, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. Is there any further discussion? Then we'll proceed on a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Proceed on a roll call vote on the amended motion. And let me just start over. Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 15 appears in docket number 2023-240E, which involves the procedural schedules proposed by Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC in this docket.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. Commissioners, we've heard the agenda item 15 identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission adopt the procedural schedule recommended by the Office of Regulatory Staff as follows. October 18th, 2023, all other parties, direct testimony is due. November 1st, 2023, DEC and DEP's rebuttal testimony is due. November 15th, 2023, all other parties' rebuttal testimony is due, and the hearing date is December 12th.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Commissioner Williams, will you take a friendly amendment that would add to that staff be given the authority to adjust the dates as needed.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioners, any further discussion? Commissioners will proceed to a roll call vote on the motion as amended by the friendly amendment, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 16 is in docket number 2022-389A. This involves the rescission of the directive issued in this docket on August 31st, 2023, and the correction of an omission in the directive dated July 13th, 2023, and in order number 2023-595.
Commissioners, we've heard agenda item 16 as identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin is recognized.
thank you. I move that the commission rescind the directive issued in this docket on August 31, 2023. That directive was issued to correct the omission of a regulation from the directive issued on July 13, 2023 in this docket, and from order number 2023-589, order number 2023-595. However, the directive identified the wrong regulation, which had been omitted. Therefore, I move that the commission amend the directive issued July 13, 2023 to correct paragraph 1 by inserting, quote, 103-712.4, unquote, following, quote, 103-712.2.5, unquote, and to correct paragraph 2 by changing, quote, 103-702-18, unquote, to, quote, 103-702.19, end quote. I further move that the commission amend order number 2023-595 issued August 16th, 2023 as follows. 1, in finding of fact number 9, insert, quote, 103-712.4, end quote, after, quote, 103-712.2.5, end quote, and delete the sentence which begins, quote, further, the addition of the definition of municipality to regulation 103-702, which was proposed and discussed during the hearing and to which no party objection should be approved, end quote. And that goes at the end of the paragraph. And 2, change, quote, 103-702.18, end quote, to, quote, 103-702.19, end quote, and findings of fact number 10. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion?
I have a question, Chair Belzer.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
How important is it that the numbers be sequential?
It probably isn't. It's just that these are there are attachments to the orders that contain the proposed regulations that will be
Okay.
sent to the legislature, and they're in sequential order, and so they just kind of line up that way.
The way we are amending it, there's one out of sequence, but our legal counsel is telling me that's absolutely fine, so that's good.
So, okay. Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Items numbered 17 and 18 can be taken together. These items appear in dockets numbered 2016-149E and 2013-298E. These are requests from Duke Energy Progress LLC and Duke Energy Carolinas LLC for approval of the residential Smart Saver Energy Efficiency Programs, the early replacement and retrofit programs.
With regard to utilities agenda items 17 and 18 as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Chair Belzer, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams is recognized.
Thank you. Duke Energy Progress LLC and Duke Energy Carolinas LLC seek to add additional programs to their demand-side management energy efficiency suites pursuant to South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-37-20, South Carolina Annotated Regulations 103-823, and their respective recovery mechanisms in orders number 2021-33 for Duke Energy Progress and 2021-32 for Duke Energy Carolinas. Before making a determination on the applications, I believe that additional information is needed. Therefore, I move that the Commission ask Duke Energy Progress LLC and Duke Energy Carolinas LLC to file an amendment to their respective applications answering the following questions. Number one, how is free ridership calculated and how does it impact the program's benefit and cost calculations? Number two, what is the expected program participation rate? Number three, what mechanism is there in this program to verify that the unit to be replaced is retired and taken out of service? 3A, who is responsible for the retirement, the homeowner or the contractor? 3B, what control is in place to verify the unit is recycled or retired and not retained? 4, how is this program different than the existing Residential Smart Saver Energy Efficiency Program for Duke Energy Carolinas and Duke Energy Progress? Number 5, are the energy savings that are realized by changing out the appliances enough to outweigh the cost of the programs? 5A, would a non-participant see their bill increase from the inclusion of this program? If so, by how much? 5B, how is the program ensuring it captures the correct energy savings from the retired appliance to the new appliance? 6, will this program incur its own program costs separate from any other existing program? 7, how can the company determine how the older equipment is found actually operating in the residence? And that was a quote from how the older equipment is found actually operating in the residence, end quote, as stated on page 5 of the application. Number 8, there's no numerical support for the application other than the provided cost effectiveness test. Please provide more detailed support for how the cost effectiveness tests were computed to include numerical data. Number 9, how is it determined that what constitute quote unquote inefficient equipment, end quote, that customers should be encouraged to replace? 9A, is it based on industry standards? If so, please explain. 9B, are there specific metrics for various makes and models of appliances in deciding what is inefficient? If so, please explain. Number 10, are the Smart Saver Energy Efficiency Program and the Early Replacement Retrofit Program evaluated separately? If so, what are the program costs for each program? Duke shall provide responses to the previously listed questions within 7 calendar days. I so move. And I'd like to make a comment.
Thank you, Commissioner Carolee Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carolee Williams. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Thank you. I just wanted to comment on the 7 calendar days is that we recognize the benefit of these programs. I recognize the benefit of these programs, and we want to make a swift decision. If we know that we'll be told if 7 days is not enough, but the purpose is really to get to a swift decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, any further discussion? Commissioner Williams, while I respect the desire for additional information, I will not be supporting the motion. I'm relying on the commission order that set forth the recovery mechanism, the statute under which the programs are established, and the review of ORS in my decision. So just FYI. If there's no further discussion, we'll proceed to a roll call. Commissioner
Madam
Irvin?
Chair, I'd like to be heard briefly. I agree with you that we have a statutory scheme that's in place. It was a comprehensive settlement agreement by all parties, which was set a 5-year term, and the agreement was that the company would update the terms of the programs annually. And so I'll be supporting your position and this matter, Chair Belcher. Don't believe it's fair to the company to have to go through the process of providing all this information when it was previously approved by formal order of the commission.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Commissioners, any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
No.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams? Commissioner Justin Williams?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm just thinking.
Oh, okay.
You're calling our names very quickly. I vote aye.
Now I lost my place. Oh, Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
And I vote no. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Madam Chair, that completes the utilities agenda before the commission. Moving on to the motor carrier agenda, items numbered 1 through 14 in Part A are requests for new Class C and Class E certificates. Staff recommends that these items be taken together, and I will review them for the commission. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2023-280T, which is the application of TM Dependable Transportation, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 2 is in docket number 2023-279T, which is the application of DKS Services, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 3 is in docket number 2023-281T. This is the application of On Time Taxi Service, LLC, for a Class C taxi certificate. Item number 4 appears in docket number 2023-283T. This is the application of Arvin Cortez Transportation, LLC, for a Class C stretcher van certificate. Item number 5 is in docket number 2023-284T, which is the application of Robert D. McComas, Jr., doing business as Hilton Head Island Rideshare, for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 6 appears in docket number 2023-288T. This is the application of Pride Express Transportation, LLC, for a Class C taxi certificate. Item number 7 is in docket number 2023-285T. This is the application of Sweetgrass Tours Plus Charters for a Class C charter bus certificate. Item number 8 appears in docket number 2023-291T, which is the application of Hourglass Tours, LLC, for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 9 appears in docket number 2023-290T, which is the application of Advent Care Transportation, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 10 is in docket number 2023-292T. This is the application of MH Luxury, LLC, for a Class C charter bus certificate. Item number 11 is in docket number 2023-293T, which is the application of Haul All Transport, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 12 is in docket number 2023-295T, which is the application of Angelique's Transportation Services, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 13 is in docket number 2023-296T. This is the application of Cherry's Go-To Transportation Service, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. And item number 14 is in docket number 2023-286T, which is the application of U.S. Pro Moving, doing business as Liberty Pro Moving, LLC, for a Class E household goods certificate.
Commissioners, we've heard transportation agenda items 1 through 14 regarding new certificates identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas?
I move that the commission approve the applications for Class C and Class E certificates in item numbers A1 through A14 as listed by Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part B of the transportation agenda, we have two requests to amend certificates that can be taken together. Item B1 appears in docket number 2004-252T. This is a request from James Powell, doing business as A to B Moving and Services, to amend class.
Mr. Scarborough,
Yes, ma'am.
would you start over? I think the number on that one was wrong.
Oh.
I think you read.
Thank you. Sorry. Let
Thank you.
me restart. Item B1 appears in docket number 2020-252T. This is a request from James Powell, doing business as A to B Moving and Services, to amend Class E Household Goods Certificate to reflect statewide authority and for approval of a bill of lading. Item B2 is in docket number 2023-237T, which is a request from Amour 5 LLC to amend its application for a Class C non-emergency certificate to reflect statewide authority.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. Commissioners, we've heard the two items identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston.
I move that the commission grant the request to amend certificates in item numbers B1 and B2 as listed by Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner, would you accept a friendly amendment to also approve the request for the bill of lading, the updated bill of lading in B1?
Yes, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion as amended carries.
In Part C of the transportation agenda, we have one request to suspend a certificate. Item number 1 is in docket number 2022-150T. This is the request of Midway Transportation LLC for an additional 12-month suspension of Class C non-emergency certificate number 9682.
With regard to transportation agenda item C1, is there any discussion? Or, excuse me, is there a motion? Thank you. I think I heard Vice Chair Powers.
I move that the commission grant the request of Midway Transportation LLC to extend their suspension until June 14, 2024. This represents 12 months from the date the original request for suspension was granted. If the company's certificate is not reinstated by June 14, 2024, the company must file a new application with updated information concerning insurance, address, and compliance with all commission regulations. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair Powers. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Powers, I'd just like to say that I support the motion. I'd also like to note for anybody that might be listening, there's no cost for someone, a motor carrier, wanting to file an application for a certificate. There's no application fee or cost to file over here. And I think we may share the same concern that we have the most up-to-date information on a carrier, and anything getting over a year before they update anything can be a bit stale. So I'm going to be supporting your motion.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part D of the transportation agenda, we have 3 requests for extensions of time. Item number 1 is in docket number 2023-151T. This is a request of C&J Transportation LLC for a 3-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Is there a motion on item D1?
Chair Belser, I have a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of C&J Transportation LLC for a 3-month extension of time until December 13th, 2023 to comply with the commission rules and regulations.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion offered by Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed with the roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 2 appears in docket number 2023-101T. This is a request of Trenches Non-Emergency Medical Transport, LLC, for a 9-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to transportation agenda item D2, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the request of Trenches Non-Emergency Medical Transport LLC for an extension of time until April 5th, 2024 to comply with commission rules and regulations. This represents 12 months from the date of their Class C non-emergency application. It represents 12 months from the date that their Class C non-emergency application was granted. If the company has not come into compliance by April 5th, 2024, the company must file a new application with updated information concerning insurance, address, and compliance with all commission regulations. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 3 is in docket number 2023-167T. This is a request of Vicky Clarity, doing business as Frontline Transport, for a 9-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to motor carrier or transportation agenda item D3, is there any discussion? Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission grant the request of Vicky Clarity, DBA Frontline Transport, for an extension of time until March 15th, 2024 to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion made by Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the Commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. We will hold our next Commission business meeting on the rescheduled date of Wednesday, September 20th at 2 p.m. Thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned.